Hi, my name is Chris, and today we're going to show you how to set up the Green Feathers Wi-Fi birdbox camera. So in front of us we've got the box. I'm going to be using this as an example so that you can see the side of the box once we get the camera set up. We've got the camera itself. Now, just incidentally, we've already taken the lens cap off. Now, this is the first thing you need to do. Pop the lens cap off, because when you get your beautiful camera set up on your iPad or your iPhone and it's got the lens cap on, you're not going to have a great image. So we'll put that off to the side. We've got the micro card. Now, before we start, the most important thing we need to do is put that in first. You can't put the micro card in once the camera's boosted up because it won't recognize it. Now, we've got a 64 gigabyte card today. The device will work with anything up to 128 gigabytes. Now, so whilst the camera is disconnected, we go to the very bottom here, and the card is inserted with the gold little bits pointing upwards. Okay, so we slot it into the slot. Now, don't force it. All we're doing is we then click it into place. Oh, my nails aren't very long. And you hear it click into the camera. That means the micro card is engaged. It's the same with all devices actually. Once you click it into place, that means it's engaged. To take it out, we simply press and out it pops. Okay, but for the sake of this exercise, let's pop it back in again. So that's now installed. We're now going to power the camera up and it will go through its boot process. So first we've got the power supply, which we've plugged in. Now I'm going to demonstrate this with our 5-meter extension lead. So that's what we've got here. And we take the male, this is all very straightforward, male into the female part, like that. And then with this part, now this is the bit you've got to be careful on. If your camera is cold, this sleeve is slightly narrower than the plug on the extension lead. So if this is cold, you want to warm it up in your hand first, just to warm the plastic up, and then you push, and then you have to give it a good push at the end. Now, I don't know if you can see there that the plastic has just stretched around where the power's gone in. That just creates a nice waterproof connection for you. So the camera is now going through its boot up process. It takes about 15 to 20 seconds, so we do need to be patient. If you're listening, now you may not be able to pick this up on the video, but in about 10 to 15 seconds time, the camera will go through, make a little sort of clicking noise, and that means it's fully engaged and it's ready to go. The last little thing, and please, this is also vitally important for you to get the best range out of your camera. Make sure that the Wi-Fi aerial on the camera is pointing straight up in the air. Now, I've just heard the camera click, so we're ready to go on to the next stage. Now, we do have an iPad today. You can use any tablet that will support the application. Also, phones, obviously an iPhone, Samsung phone, or any of the big brand phones that support the application. We're using an iPad simply because it's a bigger screen and you should be able to see more precisely what we're doing here. So the camera is still going through its boot up process, but what we're going to do is go and find it on the Wi-Fi network. So I'm just going to open the settings. So settings on the iPad, but if it's a different device, you'll just need to go into where you log on to or how you go and find a new Wi-Fi network. And in here, we're going to go and find the camera. And you'll see it's come up on the list as BEYE. So we're just going to click on that one. And then what we're doing here is directly connecting to the camera. So the initial password is just 12345 all the way through to 0. We click join. So now essentially the iPad is directly connected to the camera. It's not sitting on any Wi-Fi. It is picking up the hotspot from the camera. So once that's done, you can see there's a little tick on the screen there. We're just going to go down, and then we're going to go and download the application. Now, I have done this already to preempt it. Here's one I prepared earlier. So we've already gone to the App Store, and you can see we've already downloaded XMI. Right, that's the application we need. So if we now open that, that will bring up the main login page. And what we're looking for is in the little corner at the bottom here, we've got direct login. So we're just going to click on that one. Now, what we're doing here is adding the camera to the application, or to the app that's going to run it. So on here we can see the same camera. We're going to click on it. That's now added it to the device, and should we wish, we can now directly log on and view the camera. So I've got the box in front of it. There you go, you can see a really beautiful stream of the camera. Now that in fact is our low definition stream. If we switch that to high definition, you'll see the clarity of the image get much, much sharper. So this camera has what we call two streams. It's got a high definition stream and a sub stream. So if you're struggling to get a really clear picture and it's dropping packets, and what that means is it's a little bit hesitant. It means your connection's not very strong. So if you go to the SD, which is the sub stream, whilst it reduces the quality a tiny bit, it means that you'll get a smoother video. Now that won't impact the recordings at all, because the recordings will still be in that 1.3 megapixel quality. It's really good quality. So that will be in the full quality, and should you wish to watch those recordings later, they'll be great. Now we come back to the settings screen so that we can see the camera, that we're connected to the camera on the iPad. Now what we're going to do now is go through the process on how to connect the camera to the Wi-Fi network, thus disconnecting it from the iPad directly, and then once the camera's on the Wi-Fi network, we can then access it from multiple devices. Now this is the preferred method. This is the method that we recommend, mainly because the camera it performs a bit better. You get a bit more distance out of your Wi-Fi network if you do have Wi-Fi in your garden. Now for this, what we do is we go back to the little reset button. Now this time we're not going to press and hold. This time you give it a couple of quick clicks. Now you can hear these if you're close to it. And normally what will then happen is the device will disappear off the list. Now, it doesn't always happen straight away, because your device will always look at the Wi-Fi networks from periodically. So it's just looking again now. It's not disconnected for us this time. So I've got this pen here. My nails are a bit short, so sometimes it's quite useful just to use a pen. Let's just press it. So we've done another double click, and yeah, it's not happened again this time. Now this is not unusual, okay, so don't panic at this stage. What we need to do is just turn the Wi-Fi off, turn it on again, one of those classic technical support moments, and as if by magic, exactly what we were hoping had happened has happened. So what's happened now is the camera is now disconnected directly from the iPad. It's now sitting in the background, so we've now got to go and find the camera back on the app, right? So we're just going to close that one down. We go back to the XMI. Now this time, last time we went to the direct login, this time we're going to go to the opposite side of the screen and click local login. And then we go to add device. So there's a little plus at the top right hand side. And then we're not going to go through this, all this stuff here. We're just going to go to the quick configuration. Now you can see in the list, we've got closed 24/7, which is our network here, and our password, which I've pre-typed. iPads have a habit of putting capitals on things, so we've pre-typed that so I don't get my knickers in a twist doing it. So I'm just going to press OK, and as soon as that's done, we click yes to the thing that comes up. Now we're just going to be patient now whilst the application connects directly to the camera. And what's happening at the moment is essentially the password from the network's being installed onto the camera. Now what we're doing is we're waiting for the little green camera to pop up, which it has. And now we press on the little green thing, and that puts all the password details in, and then we can click OK. And there it is. Same process as last time. You click on the gobbledygook at the top, which is the reference of the camera, and then we click on the camera itself. And there we have our substream. So that's the blurry stream. If we want to just increase the quality, we click on HD. And that will give you a nice high quality image. So that's just about it on how we connect to the device and how we get the camera actually set up on our device, on either our pads or our phones. For more troubleshooting and hints and tips, please watch the next video, which will talk us through how we record, and how to set schedules and how to watch recordings, and some of the other little things that we found that will give you tips on how to get the best out of your camera. Thanks for watching today. We'll see you next time.